Jungle Cruise was released in 2021 and was directed by Jaume Collet-Serra. I'm very sorry that I probably pronounced that name wrong. It tells the story of a doctor who meets up with a guy named Frank. Together they try to look for a magic tree that has the powers of healing. I didn't really care much about this movie. Seeing all the trailers and advertisements just made it look meh to me. But I decided to watch it to do a review on it, and I don't think it's very good. I don't think it's bad by any means, but the storyline is just so boring and really not that interesting. I think the pacing really kills it. It's so slow, and the movie just drags and drags and drags, and it's just not a very interesting movie. I struggle to try get some enjoyment out of the story, but it's just such a bore them. There's really not much to say about the story other than it's really not that interesting and not very good.
Visually, the movie does look nice. There's some nice colours, but I feel the CGI is a little bit cheap. And what I mean by that is that it's very noticeable, like with the jaguar cheetah. I'm sorry that I'm confusing the two animals, but it's very noticeable that it's CGI. And the movie has a budget of 200 million. I just think for a Disney movie, and the time we're in now with new technology, I just think the CGI could look a bit better. Like there's some other CGI, like movements. It's just it looks too noticeable that it's CGI. It looks too noticeable, and it was kind of distracting because you're supposed to believe it with the CGI being so noticeable that it's CGI. It's not realistic looking. It was just very distracting to me. It just kind of killed. Like, it wasn't bad, but it was just a little too noticeable, so I think more work should have been put into the CGI.
The characters aren't very good either and are really boring and forgettable. Frank, however, he was entertaining and very well acted, but that's about it. Every other character was just so forgettable to me.
And as well as forgettable characters and a very boring story, the soundtrack isn't very good either. It's not by no means a bad film. I don't think it's terrible. There's some good things in it. Like I said, some visuals are nice looking, and there actually is some good dialogue and some character interactions which are quite enjoyable. And Frank is a pretty entertaining character, but it's just such a boring movie.
Overall, Jungle Cruise is by no means a bad movie. It does have some decent dialogue and character interactions, but it's got a very boring story and characters with some soundtrack that ain't very good either. I'm going to give Jungle Cruise a 6 out of 10.
I shall see you guys next time until I review a Ryan Reynolds movie. Which one? You'll find out. So stay tuned for that. Until then, guys, take care everyone, and skidoosh.